You can count on us.
Grill with USDA fresh boneless ribeye steaks, $19.99 per pound. Whole red ripe seedless watermelons, $14.99 each. Freshly baked hamburger or hot dog rolls, $3.99 for a package of 8. Select varieties of 59-ounce cartons of Minute Maid Punch drinks, $3.99. New 7.5-ounce box Bubby's Hawaiian Mushi Premium Ice Cream, $8.49 for select varieties. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more Superheroes holiday specials.
You can count on us.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Wednesday, June 12th. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us. A Bermuda police officer and 2 men charged in magistrate's court today with conspiring to defeat justice. 34-year-old police constable Kyle Wheatley of Smiths, 32-year-old Calshanto James of Southampton, and 31-year-old Kenton Smith of Paget were charged with conspiring together and with others not before the court to defeat the course of justice by agreeing to help destroy or suppress traffic tickets issued to motorists. The offense is alleged to have occurred between July 1st, 2017 and May 8th last year. All defendants were not required to enter a plea as the charge is indictable and must be heard in the Supreme Court. They were granted bail in the amount of $5,000 each with a like surety and are set to appear during the July arraignment session. Well, the government has decided against making it mandatory for certain people to get vaccinations against diseases such as measles. Our report in April indicated that government was considering such a requirement. However, updating the public today during a news conference on vaccinations, the Health Minister Kim Wilson revealed that the government prefers to instead encourage people to get their shots. Tarai Trott was there.
According to the Reuters news agency, more than 800 cases of measles were recorded across the United States last month, with a higher number of outbreaks in New York, where it saw 75 new cases alone recorded in 1 week during early May. The prevalence of the disease in New York in particular has caused considerable alarm among health officials here in Bermuda. Given New York's status as the #1 travel destination for Bermuda residents, the fear is that a local resident could contract measles and bring it back to the island. Health Minister Kim Wilson.
We are in a situation where we're seeing the resurgence of certain diseases that 30 years ago, because of vaccinations, were eliminated. I don't want to ask, but I'm sure everybody's probably been to New York in the last 12 months, and we're seeing a resurgence of the measles epidemic in New York City itself.
Minister Wilson acknowledged that efforts will have to be undertaken to sell the safety of vaccinations to the general public, who have shown a hesitancy to getting all of their vaccinations.
Our main objective is to ensure that people recognize that vaccinations are safe and their health important, and that we need to ensure that we can increase our awareness and allow persons to understand the need of vaccinations.
In April, the government indicated it would be looking at whether or not to make certain vaccinations obligatory, as is the case for school students in the United States. The suggestion triggered support from some quarters.
In my personal capacity, I'd wholeheartedly support that.
While many took to social media to decry the suggestion that people, especially young students, could be compelled to get vaccinations. Many expressed worries that vaccinations were potentially dangerous, a notion that health officials have been working hard to dispel. Ms. Wilson revealing that there are no plans to force such vaccinations, with the government opting to instead launch a publicity campaign aimed at nudging people towards getting their shots.
The World Health Organization has come up with a guideline to help to encourage countries to increase their vaccine, the implementation of vaccinations, and that's what we're looking at.
Encourage, but so no plans to force?
No.
The health ministry revealed in April that the island's record of no incidents of measles over the last 30 years was under threat after highlighting statistics showing the number of young people on the island who had received vaccinations for measles, mumps, and rubella had fallen below the global target. The government, through its various campaigns, is hoping to increase the rate of those being vaccinated by 10% by the year 2021.
Preliminary groundwork in Bermuda has been completed by a working group which includes school executive PTAs, health officials and physicians, and they're there to investigate and identify local concerns.
And that was Tarai Trott reporting. According to the Mayo Clinic, symptoms of measles include fever, dry cough, sore throat, and inflamed eyes. Measles is highly contagious and is spread through coughing, sneezing, and any contact with the mucus of an infected person. Health officials warn that an infected person may not notice any signs or symptoms within the first 14 days of transmission. Well, a new agreement reached for the BIU represented government workers following a meeting between the union and its membership today. The meeting meant a stop to bus and ferry services as well as mail delivery, but workers were back on the job following the gathering. We spoke to Chris Ferbert, president of the BIU, about the outcome of today's talks.
Mr. Chris Ferbert, President of the Bermuda Industrial Union. This morning there was a major meeting of a number of the different branches that the union represents with regard to wage negotiations. If I'm not mistaken, can you give us an update on what the situation is, please?
The situation was we have an update on wage negotiations for all government blue-collar workers. That meeting was approved by the government for us to have it today. And that was to present a proposal to the membership as you recently concluded negotiations between the government and the negotiating team on behalf of the workers. That proposal was presented to the members and it was ratified.
So what does this mean now that it's been ratified?
Well, it means that, the workers now, this is for the whole of 2018, the workers didn't get a wage increase for 2018. So basically the increase is retroactive to last year. Basically last year, I think it's February 15th to December 31st, 2018. It will continue on because we're going to negotiate a new wage for 2019. That hasn't been done yet. This was for 2018.
Are you able to say how much of a wage increase the workers benefited?
No, I think I'll prefer to say we just reached an agreement.
Gary Moreno speaking there with BIU President Chris Ferbert. And we'll have more for you after this short break, including all the latest weather news. Stay with us.
Every home tells a story. Your story is all yours.
Big kid, too cool. I make my own rules.
Wherever you live, whatever your style, express yourself.
My style says what's up. Don't wanna ever grow up.
So many styles to help tell your story and create your unique dream home.
We're gonna stand out, break away from the crowd.
Start shopping for furniture at U.S. prices today. Lifestyle Furniture is Bermuda's newest furniture store and is proud to be the home of the #1 furniture company in the world, Ashley Furniture. Visit lifestylefurniture.bm or stop by our showrooms today. Lifestyle Furniture, this is home.
4K ready box, cloud DVR storage, more local channels on every device in your home. Get more with FiberWire TV.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
Thanks again for joining us. Staff at the popular Granny's Kitchen takeout restaurant reopened their doors today to serve its loyal customers after masked assailants stormed the premises yesterday morning in a brazen armed robbery. Shaken but unmoved, the staff have received an outpouring of support from the community in the wake of the incident. The busy takeout spot on North Shore Road in Pembroke was the latest casualty, struck by masked robbers targeting small businesses. One member of staff, Shannon Phillips, who is 6 months pregnant, luckily was at a doctor's appointment when the suspect entered the place. But it's clear this tight-knit team were all affected.
It was upsetting. Like, how are you going to come to a granny's? Like, this is grandma's kitchen. Like, how are you going to come and disrespect your granny? That's just, wow. Why?
So do you harbor any ill feeling towards the individuals, or what are your thoughts on the people who've done this?
karma's something else. I mean, it's all gonna come back to him. That's all I have to say.
One suspect pointed an unknown object covered in a red cloth at a female employee. Then the two suspects made off with a sum of cash, making good their escape on a motorcycle. While the suspects remain at large, the business so far is doing its best to keep moving forward.
Some people's been coming by dropping donations. Mr. Weeks and Mr. Dunkley's came by just to show some support, and we had the officers that was working on it. They came by to check on us today. One of the detectives actually sat down and had lunch with us, so it's been great. I mean, a lot of support out there.
Owner Debbie Bean was busy baking, tending to customers and answering phone calls to keep up with the fast, fresh service Granny's is known for. Its signature fish dishes and other made-to-order items are clearly still in high demand. We caught up with OBA MP Michael Dunkley, who paid a visit to staff.
I was just shocked and very disturbed yesterday to learn what happened at Granny's, and I stayed away yesterday, obviously, to let the police do what they have to do. But I wanted to come by here this afternoon, just spend a bit of time with them and show that there's a lot of support and love in the community, and it appears that that's come out since the incident. And also to stress to them or anyone else that might be around is that, if we know something, say something. We have to stop this mentality that we're not going to snitch on somebody, or we're going to protect on somebody, or it's not my problem, or I'm afraid of what might happen. Because, but for the grace of God, something could happen to anyone tomorrow.
He again reiterates the need for the community to take a stand against such crimes.
These ladies in here serve this community. They serve good food in this community. And I think we all need to rally and support them and try to root out where we have our challenges. Obviously, whoever did it has some real challenges. We need to give support to the police to get information for them to come in. And, once they have their day and justice is served, we need to try to help people who have these type of challenges, because Bermuda's too small to allow this type of stuff not to be the norm, but to be accepted.
And Mr. Dunkley sends a message to the culprits who may be watching this.
Look, don't ruin our community. If you need help, reach out to our community. Do the manly thing. Turn yourself in and ask for some compassion from people and help make Bermuda a better and stronger place. Do the right thing. Be a man.
Any witnesses to yesterday's armed robbery at Granny's Kitchen or anyone with information is urged to call the main police telephone number on 295-0011 or the confidential Crime Stoppers hotline 800-8477. Well, we can't feed our family on promises, and we won't forget the government's silence when the next election comes. Those are the sentiments being expressed by a number of unpaid workers employed on the Caroline Bay project at Morgan's Point. The workers complain while work has been stopped with no known restart date, they're left to ponder an uncertain future. Here's Gary Moreno with more.
It's been 2 weeks since we first broke the story on the Caroline Bay project shutdown. And while principals at the site have confirmed the work stoppage, what they have not addressed is the monies owed to subcontractors and their employees. In many instances, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and for work they've already completed. The total amount owed said to be in the millions. Asked why they have not sought legal action against the project owners, the individual we spoke with offered that they remain hopeful work will again resume at the site and as such would not want to jeopardize their chances of continued employment when and if that happens. Government, you may remember, has approved a $156 million loan guarantee for the project, but yet still has been silent on this latest work stoppage. Now the workers we spoke with lament they were at least hoping government would somehow get involved to help them in getting some kind of information on when they will be paid. The workers, however, would not say whether they've made any overtures to government in that regard. Meanwhile, a well-placed source up at Morgan's Point maintains financing has been secured for the project, but government approval has to now be given for a foreign entity to in effect hold the mortgage on the development before providing the financing approval. Now, whether this is truly the hold-up to work resuming remains unknown since, again, government continues to remain tight-lipped about the situation, something that does not sit well with the workers who feel the government should be more forthcoming since the taxpayer is on the hook for that $156 million guarantee. We're told the financiers are awaiting cabinet approval for 2 licenses, one to deal with the money aspect and the other related to immigration matters. The workers argue if that is the case, then government needs to get a move on and ensure work can resume in as short a time frame as possible. One worker heard to remark, maybe my MP will explain to me come next election why he didn't get involved to help shed some light on what's going on at Morgan's Point. Meanwhile, checks with government to determine whether there is a delay in signing off on licenses needed for the refinancing of the project have so far met with no response. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Now, with Bermuda Heroes Weekend fast approaching, let's turn over to the AccuWeather headquarters for the latest.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and on this Wednesday, it's been a bit of a humid day out there for us today. We are under the influence of high pressure, but we are going to have these pieces of tropical moisture essentially kind of moving into the area the next day or two, and that's going to give us a chance of a couple of spotty showers. Nothing significant is expected. Looks like we have a better bet of getting some more steady rain once we get closer toward the weekend. Probably not exactly what you want to hear when it's kind of in the middle of the work week. You're looking forward to the weekend, but we will be talking about more wet weather coming up with that extended forecast in just a couple of moments. So as we take a closer look at what's going on around the island here, you can see that we do, as I mentioned, have those areas of moisture that are kind of just scattered about here into the Atlantic, and those are going to be the pop-up showers that we potentially see into tonight and also into tomorrow. Temperature-wise, as I've mentioned, it's been a pretty warm day out there. 80 degrees right now, so it's warm and it's also humid. 80% with that humidity. Winds are coming in out of the southwest at about 10 knots, and the water starting to warm up. 77 degrees right now. Waves inside the reef, no issues, around 1 foot, and outside of the reef between 2 and 4 feet, which is pretty typical, pretty standard as far as marine conditions are concerned. As we look at some of our tidal times here, getting you into your Wednesday late night, our low tide coming in just before midnight, and then our high tide into tomorrow morning just before 6 a.m. So here we go into tonight's forecast. Speaking of mild, look at this, 75 degrees for the overnight low. Our typical low temperature for this time of the year is in the upper 60s, so that just goes to show you how warm of an air mass we have situated here. A shower in spots this evening, otherwise it will be partly cloudy out there. And then for tomorrow, maybe a stray hit or miss shower, otherwise it's just going to be another warm and humid afternoon with temperatures in the low 80s for daytime highs, and you can see tomorrow night also going to be another warm one for you as well, with lows in the mid 70s. As we look at things in the Caribbean, you can see that we do have some unsettled weather here. Jamaica, showers and thunderstorms, mid to upper 80s there. Also upper 80s into Barbados, couple of showers. Trinidad, 91 degrees. We're not really monitoring anything in the Atlantic, so we do have a lot of Saharan dust kind of working its way off the coast of Africa. Meanwhile, if you're doing some traveling here, maybe you're heading back home or maybe you're taking a vacation, Toronto, it's going to be a wet day tomorrow. Also looking wet in New York City, Boston, a sunny day in Atlanta, Georgia, and then we are allowing for some showers in Miami and also into London if maybe that's where you're headed out to. Here's a look at the extended forecast. You can see temperature-wise, we stay in the 80s the next few days. Mainly cloudy skies on Friday with a few showers. Saturday looks okay. Late Saturday into Sunday and into early next week, that's when we have more rain in store.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
This summer I was in Germany on holiday with my family, and on a whim one day my son and I joined a speed sliding competition, and as I came down the water slide I went straight down in the pool and whacked my left foot on the bottom of the pool, and I looked down and I didn't see a foot. I just saw the bones sticking out and I started to feel faint. I was ambulanced to a hospital where I stayed for 11 days and had surgery. I had snapped all the ligaments on both sides of my ankle. And in the middle of all this stress and pain, we thought, how are we going to deal with health insurance? How will we pay for this? And I got a response from Allison at BF&M, and she said, your admission and surgery will be covered at 100%. I didn't have to put it on a credit card and deal with the reimbursement later. It made such a big difference to us. And For me, the BF&M difference is stress-free insurance when I really needed it.
Good news for you tonight. The Attorney General Kathy Lynn Simmons has announced that 32 young people between 14 and 18 successfully completed the Mirrors Community Program on Saturday, June 8th at the Delwood Middle School. The community program is Mirrors' flagship program for transforming the lives of Bermuda's youth. The work began with a highly engaged 6-day camp in October 2018, which stimulates ideas and inspires youth to create immediate shifts in their behavior and approach to school and life. It ended after 8 months of coaching and experiential learning with a deeper application of the 8 keys of excellence. Mirrors is intentional with its name of this program because it stands as a focal point of the work. Minister Simmons added that it is about wrapping the community resources around the youth to make great youth greater. It is inspired from the African proverb, "It takes a village to raise a child." And still to come, Earl Basin will have all the latest sports news in just a few minutes.
What? You want a race? Rubber Duck Derby 2019. Raffle tickets now on sale. Bring the whole family. Presented to you by Friends of Hospice and Linda's lead sponsor.
4K ready box, cloud DVR storage, more local channels on every device in your home. Get more with FiberWire TV.
Enjoy memorable moments brought to you by ZipX.
Earl Basin brings us the latest from the sports desk.
Dennis Brown, it was reported by the Somerset Cricket Club that you have indeed returned home. Not your first time back at Somerset, but what do you think will be different this time around at the helm of Somerset Trojans?
First of all, I would just like to thank Somerset for embracing me coming back into the program. This was, and I would say first of all that this was a wish of my mother who passed in March that I returned to where it all started, before I finished my coaching career. So everything basically tied into, where we are today. I would say it's going to be a new day in relations to the Somerset program. Not looking to recreate the wheel, but it's going to be a new day. It's going to also be a new rebranding of the whole Somerset program. I'm looking forward to the huge challenge of being the technical director as well as the senior men's coach. At the end of the day, what I've seen from the outside looking in since I've been away from Somerset is things that will change. A lot of things will change in relations to player deportment, player respect for number one, each other, player respect for the coaching staff, player respect for the opponents. From outside looking in at the whole senior setup in Bermuda, too many players, in my opinion, are disrespecting this beautiful game when it comes to behavior, fitness levels, etc.
Robin Hood Football Club announced the addition of Jomar Wilkinson to the coaching staff for the Warwick Archers Youth Football Program for the 2019-2020 season. Wilkinson is a UEFA B licensed coach and has been actively coaching for the past 27 years in the Bermuda Football Association leagues. He brings a wealth of experience to the program with a proven track record of success, having won multiple trophies in recent years with both the Dandytown Hornets and the Southampton Rangers men's teams. As the 75th annual Edward Cross long distance race is fast approaching, Gladwin Lambert, the Commodore of the comic class, talks about the man who has won the race 21 times, Stephen Dickinson.
I feel he has an edge of being gifted, as well as, like George said, he seems to go in great depths in his research in his own self and how this sailboat operates, what makes it go fast. He just goes in very deep, and it's him to be the best that he can be in this particular boat or a sailboat. Stevie is just he's the one that he seems to be he has it, and he's able to improve himself over and over and over, and is never satisfied. Although he's won this race 21 times, this guy is still right now wanting to find a way to make this boat go faster. But
Darray Rollins and his Sussex Seconds teammates began taking on Lancashire Seconds in a second 11 three-day friendly at the Horsham Cricket Club. At the end of the day's play on day one, Sussex led by 150 runs, with Lancashire having 9 wickets remaining in their first inning. Sussex batted first and were bowled out for 234. Rollins was the top scorer along with Alan Kaplan, who both scored 50 runs. Rollins' runs came off of 45 balls, including 7 fours and 2 sixes in his 70-minute stay at the crease. At the close of play, Lancashire had reached 84 for 1. The Bermuda Netball Association Summer League season resumed at Bernard Park with 140 goals scored last evening. Rain defeated the BHP Angels 40-11. Jasmine Renfro led Rain with 25 goals, while Charlene Bogle Gomez scored 8 goals for the BHP Angels. The BUT Teachers defeated the Old Kids on the court 37-12. Phoenix Flames got by the PHC Lady Zebras 27-13. I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Save $1 on imported iceberg lettuce, only $1.99 each. Save $2 on fresh Atlantic salmon fillets, $16.99 per pound. Save $2.40 on select varieties of ShopRite lactose-free milk, only $3.99 for a 64-ounce carton. Package 4 double rolls, Charmin Ultra Soft or Strong Toilet Tissue, $4.99. Save $3 on Essentia purified water, $11.49 for a 6-pack of 1-liter bottles. Have a happy and safe Heroes Day holiday from the Marketplace family.
You can count on us.
are the voices.
You are with the captain.
It's Mr. Midday.
12 new major news.
The big station.
The morning show.
The number one song.
The Faces.
You're watching Bermuda Tonight.
This is exactly what you're talking about.
What an upset it was.
The Storytellers.
They are actually using the pepper spray.
Police are aware of this theory.
The water is 3,500 meters deep.
The tax climbs up to 12.5%.
The window on our community.
We bring you the best in U.S. television entertainment
And the greatest sporting events in the world.
A brilliant performance of Duffy.
We are the island's only Bermudian-owned broadcaster of both television and radio.
With the only TV channels that are available over the air in beautiful high definition, completely free.
We are always expanding.
We are always innovating.
And most important, we're always your station.
This is Bermuda Broadcasting. That's our newscast for this evening. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.